Welcome back to the channel, folks. 217 Bass in here with you. Today I'm got another thrilling video for you, talking about the shaky head rig and how to use that worm to catch fish. For me, I've been fishing about 2 years now, and it has quickly moved up to one of my go-to rigs. I'd say it's right behind the Texas rig. I prefer fishing plastics for bass, and right behind the Texas rig for me, if the Texas rig isn't working, I will go straight to the shaky head. So I've caught some really nice fish on it. I would say my probably 6 biggest bass this year were off the shaky head. So it's become a go-to for me, and I'm going to show you how I use it and how I rig it in this video. So stay tuned.
Alright, so as you can see, I like to use bigger worms on my shaky head. So before I talk about the hooks, the different hooks to use, I'm going to talk about my worms. So I like big presentation. So as you can see here, I got 3 different ribbon tails that are my go-tos. And then I have 2 different kind of trick style worms that you can go to. So I'll start from the top. This one right here, this black and blue, it's actually Okechobee color. That's a Googan Squad Slim Shake worm. This one right here is a backyard custom plastic, and it's watermelon red with some black flake, some watermelon seed mixed in there. Then this middle one here is a Gambler Lures 10-inch ribbon tail, and that's a Kissimee color. And this one is a Zoom Old Monster 10-inch, and that is in the South African Special color. And then this last one is also a Googan Squad, and it's a Mondo worm, so 10-inch. So 3 10-inch worms, and then 2 big kind of trick worm styles. So these are my 5 go-to colors that I like to throw, and they both kind of have these have kind of different actions. So the ribbon tails, they're going to sit, and this little ribbon tail is going to move in the watering column. And then these big trick worms, they're going to sit, and this tail is going to flap in the water column and move in the water column. So I'll move on to the hooks. So there's 2 different kind of style hooks. If you look at this one, this is a Motley Fishing Tungsten shaky head. It's got the ball shaky head, and I'll tell you when I like to use this. And then this one is kind of mushroom shaky head. I think this is a VMC, and it's got a flat bottom on it, kind of that mushroom head, and this is going to sit on the bottom. So I like to use this round shaky head when I'm throwing into rocks or moving it down a steep bank, because this is still going to sit down like this, and it might sit a little flatter. So it might sit a little flatter in your hand, and that worm is still going to be elevated up and moving. Okay. With this one, the design on this, I like to throw this into cover, the flat bottoms into cover, trees, and kind of flat areas where I know it's a flat bottom. So this is going to sit on the flat bottom, and it's going to force that tail of the worm to move up, okay, to float up. So I'll rig 2 of these up here, and I'll show you how I rig them. Let's go with a ribbon tail on this one. So I'll use the Gambler Lures Kissimee color. It's a beautiful color. It's blue. And we're going to put this on the ball shaky head. So what you're going to do is you see your little screw there. Both of them have screws. You're going to screw it on. So screw it on the screw. Screw that head all the way down to the bottom. Okay. So you got it all the way down to the bottom. And then you want to find kind of your back of the worm there, which is this part right here. And you're going to pinch that and just move it up a little bit and down onto your hook. So it's gonna come weedless. Let me move these out of the way. It's gonna sit, and now this is a weedless action worm. So like I said, I like to work this down the rocks, and it's gonna hit those rocks and kind of sit, but then this tail is gonna kind of move back here and be moving in the water column a little bit. So that's the round head shaky head. For this one, I'm going to use the Backyard Plastics trick worm on the flat one. And I'm going to kind of show you why I like the trick worm on these flat ones. So, same thing. Screw the head on, like so. And then you're just going to find where that hook goes, pinch it up a little bit, slide it in. So now that's weedless, like so. Okay, it's a weedless worm. Now, I like this one on flat ground and throwing into cover, so it floats down. The weight floats it down, so when you cast it out, it's going to float down, and then it's going to sit on the bottom. If it's a flat bottom lake, it's going to sit on the bottom like this, and this is a floating worm, so this back end is going to float, and it's actually going to move. So you throw it out there, you let it sit, and this back end is going to move in the water. So that's pretty sweet. So that's two different styles of kind of your worms there. And they both have their actions, and I like to throw a bigger weight. I think both of these are 1/4 ounce shaky heads, so I like something a little bigger. And yeah, so if you're out on the water, make sure that you kind of give the shaky head a try, because I will tell you, my biggest fish this season have all come on the shaky head worm. So, and you can throw it with different options. You can throw it with a crawl. You can throw it with a creature bait. But for me, I prefer the worm, and big worms are kind of my go-to, especially in the summertime. So the 10-inch ribbon tail option is a good option for the shaky head, as well as the trick worm. So make sure you check those out, and if you haven't already, make sure you give my channel a like and subscribe. Appreciate you watching. Tight lines.